There is only one good thing about breakups. They inspire Adele to make new music. Sadly, this guy has been sleeping on the job. We'll probably never see another album from her. That leaves South Park as our only source of life lessons. And it's a pretty good one. South Park has great breakup episodes like Tweek and Craig, but Raisins does the best job. It answers 3 big questions. Number 1, why do people break up? Number 2, why do breakups hurt so much? And number 3, what can you do to deal with one? So let's get right into it. Raisins opens with Bebe walking up to Stan. She taps him on the shoulder and delivers a message.
Wendy breaks up.
Stan can't believe what he's hearing, so Bebe clarifies it for him.
Wendy breaks up with you.
Stan asks a question we all ask anybody who doesn't have the decency to ghost us like a normal person.
What did I do wrong?
Then he answers his own question.
I haven't even talked to Wendy for weeks.
So, Stan has clearly been neglecting the relationship. But is that the only reason Wendy breaks up? No, there is another reason. And it's all hidden behind the classic,
She just doesn't want to be with you anymore.
this is one of the most frustrating things about a lot of breakups. It's very rare you'll ever get a full explanation. There's always a, oh, I fell out of love. We're not compatible. You sniff your fingers after you scratch your balls. You never hear the real reasons. And if there are 100 reasons, you'll probably only ever hear one. As if that's not enough, Bebe tells Stan the most horrible thing you can hear from an ex.
She said she still wants to be friends.
Like, come on! Why would I want a front row seat to how much better you're doing without me? Just go. But Stan is not the live and let live type. He wants to know why he got dumped. First, he sends Kyle to ask on his behalf. This is cowardly elementary school behavior, but it perfectly mirrors real life. Sometimes you have to send someone to inquire on your behalf because she has blocked you on every other platform, except Pinterest. And you still haven't really even figured out how to send a DM on Pinterest, or even how to navigate the bloody site. I mean, who made this thing?
What a piece of crap.
Ooh, easy, deep breaths. Now let's get back to Stan. His plan doesn't work. Wendy gives Kyle the generic runaround. Stan is really nice, she just doesn't want to be a boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. She has nothing against him and so on. You know the drill. If she had added the, it's not you, it's me, it would have been the perfect nothing answer. But Stan doesn't accept this, so he tries a second time. This time, he sends Jimmy. He tells Jimmy exactly what to say.
Tell her she's a continuing source of inspiration to me.
But Jimmy has a stutter, which Stan somehow forgot about.
I didn't say aren't you glad I didn't say aren't you glad I didn't say aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
So, you thought the line was lame? Wait until Jimmy delivers it.
Stan says you're a cunt. You're a cunt. Stan says you're a cunt.
An angry Wendy storms off, and Jimmy finally manages to deliver Stan's message.
Stan says you're a continuing source of inspiration to him.
But Wendy is long gone. Only the lockers hear it. Stan has no idea how poorly this scheme went. When Jimmy reports back, he gives an incomplete report.
She just walked away, Stan. You're gonna have to face facts. It's over.
But Stan is tenacious. He's going to be brave. Is he going to talk to Wendy himself? You wish.
Baby, you need to go talk to Wendy for me right now. Tell her I love her.
Bebe gives pretty good advice.
Stand outside her window, hold a boombox over your head, and play Peter Gabriel.
Now, this is copied from the movie Say Anything, but instead of playing the very romantic In Your Eyes like in the movie, Stan plays Shock the Monkey. This song is an odd choice. I can't play it for copyright reasons, but let me recite some lyrics for you. Don't you know you gotta shock the monkey, shock the monkey, shock the monkey. The song foreshadows what comes next. Stan is about to unlock a new level of pain. When Wendy comes to the window and she is shocked. But why? Is it because Stan is being so romantic? Well, Token joins Wendy at the window. The real reason for their breakup is finally revealed. The racism in this scene is unintentional. Stan didn't know Wendy was with Token. What hurts the most is the betrayal. For some reason, Stan assumed that Wendy was suffering as much as he was. A lot of people probably think the same in their relationships, and they're often disappointed. In every breakup, somebody does the dumping and somebody else gets the dumped. The dumpers always know the breakup is coming, so they prepare. This was hinted at earlier. Stan said he hadn't talked to Wendy in weeks. He was clearly neglecting the relationship, but so was Wendy. Talking is a two-way street. So, like a lot of dumpers out there, Wendy checked out her relationship with Stan, got into a new relationship, and then dumped Stan when she was good and ready. To Stan, the breakup was a total surprise, but to Wendy, it wasn't. Given how quickly she'd move on, she most certainly also cheated on Stan before dumping him. Dumpers don't always believe this is cheating. For them, the relationship is long over before they deliver the news. It's how you end up with people who are never single. They always jump from one relationship to the next, leaving a trail of broken hearts behind them. After this, Stan withdraws to his bed. He can't bring himself to care about anything. The breakup and the betrayal completely break him.
Why? What's the point of living when the only girl I'll ever love is gone?
Stan goes on to describe a sensation anyone who's ever loved and lost can relate to.
You always hear songs about a broken heart and you think it's just a figure of speech? But it's true. My chest hurts.
And this is so accurate. I've only experienced one breakup, and it's inspired me to do everything in my power to avoid a second one. This was a sensation in my chest. It felt like I had a gaping wound that constantly kept opening and closing. It hurt, and I knew the only thing that can cure it was a hug from her. But she didn't want a hug from me. So, I was stuck with my pain. And so was Stan.
I feel this, sinking feeling where my heart is. It's broken.
This also raises a question that no one has ever asked before. Why do breakups hurt so much? In Stan's case, it's obvious. He's been betrayed. Betrayal is the universe's way of telling us that we're horrible judges of character. But Stan was broken even before he discovered the betrayal. So what else makes breakups so painful? There are 4 reasons that make breakups hurt so much, and each reason builds on the next and delivers the kind of pain that creates chart-topping singles in professional bodybuilders. But before you can write the most raw and relatable breakup song ever sung, you're going to suffer through all 4 stages of the breakup pain. The first stage is simple. It's withdrawal. When you hug, kiss, cuddle, or engage in any of the 269 other forms of physical intimacy that a man can engage in with his anime body pillow, your body releases a cocktail of hormones that make you feel good. When you do all these things with a real person, your body releases a much stronger cocktail of the feel-good hormones. These hormones, mostly oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, improve your mood, reduce stress, relieve depression, and can boost your immune system. Love is very, very good for you. But when you break up, there is no more physical affection. Without hugs and kisses and cuddles, your body stops producing the feel-good hormone cocktail and everything's reversed. Your mood gets worse, your stress levels increase, your depression will probably spike, and your immune system gets weaker. The reason you can't get out of bed after a breakup is because you're literally sick, but we're just getting started here. The second source of breakup pain is a mere act of rejection. I don't need to explain this to you. Unless you are an extremely lucky bastard, you have definitely experienced rejection before. You know how crappy it feels. Behind every rejection, there's a subtle message. You are worthless. Now, before you approach a girl on the street and get rejected, it hurts, but you can rationalize it and recover. Maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe she was on her period. Or maybe she just doesn't know you. But when that girl knows you, knows how much you bench, knows how amazing you are at making pancakes, and still rejects you, it's a completely different level of pain. She has examined you under a microscope and determined that you are worthless. Physical sickness and rejection would be bad enough without another 2 additional sources of pain, but they're coming. The third source of breakup pain is a broken identity. The more a relationship progresses, the more intimate it tends to become. You start liking the same things, you have the same routines, and you do a lot of stuff together. You stop being an I, and you become a we. You start including your partner in all visions of your future. But when you break up, that vision dies. You have to alter your plans and fantasies because she's out of the picture. Everything else also comes into question. You can't eat at your favorite restaurant anymore, or use your favorite shampoo because she introduced you to those things. Do you stop sauteing your vegetables in butter and just steam them like you used to before meeting her and risk them tasting terrible? Do you throw out all the clothes she suggested you buy? What about the furniture, the decorations, the utensils? Do you stop watching your favorite show because she recommended it? There's probably like 100 little things that she probably introduced you to that now you can't enjoy without triggering a traumatic memory. Remembering how much of your identity is due to her influence leads you to question everything about yourself. And in that confusion, the pain rises. Then there's the fourth and final source of pain, emotional dysregulation. If you're like most people, you talk to your girl every day. This sharing of experiences is the most important and most underrated part of any relationship. Talking to somebody about your problems helps them feel a little less difficult. Helping other people with their problems also makes you better at dealing with your own problems. That's why therapy helps people so much. The talking is the therapy. This is part of the reason why married people live longer, earn more, and tend to be happier than singles. They have someone to share their burden with. By comforting each other at the end of every day, you can regulate each other's emotions. It's basically a group therapy. When you break up, all of that's gone, and you're alone all over again. If something frustrates you at work, you can't just go home and tell your girl about it. You just keep it all to yourself, day in and day out. Couple that with stress hormones, the feeling of rejection, and the confused identity, and you have an emotional bomb on your hands. So, how do you deal with all this pain? Well, South Park decides to mock a common cultural practice before providing a solution. South Park explores 3 ways of dealing with a breakup. You're familiar with the first. The boys try to cheer up Stan by taking him to Raisins, the in-universe parody of Hooters. This critiques how some people in real life try to get over breakups by going to strip clubs or downloading Tinder and just trying to hook up with a stranger. Jumping into a rebound relationship straight off the breakup is a bad idea. You're not thinking straight, and you run the risk of hurting the other person or being hurt even worse. But the boys do it anyway. How does this go for Stan? The boys are all drooling over the cute waitresses.
What do you think, Stan? These girls are pretty cute, huh?
Jesus Christ, I think I've died and gone to heaven.
Now, I have to say, the boys do have good intentions. They want to show Stan that there are millions of girls in the world, and he shouldn't be so heartbroken about one. But it doesn't work because they don't understand what Stan is going through. Sure, there are millions of girls in the world, but they don't want you. That is a very important distinction. What makes your girl special is the fact that she likes you, maybe even loves you even. She smiles when she hears your voice and runs towards you when she sees you. The others will just cross the road and run in the opposite direction. Being loved by somebody you love is what makes relationships so fulfilling. But Stan's friends have never been in a relationship. They just don't understand the difference between being loved by a girl who thinks you're amazing and being tolerated by a girl who thinks you're a creep. They just drool and dream. This line is very telling.
Oh, I'm glad you guys came in. Everyone in here is such a loser, but you guys seem really cool.
The waitress says it to everybody.
I'm so glad you guys came in. Everyone in here is such a loser, but you guys seem really cool.
I mean, you meet this girl literally 3 seconds ago. What could you have possibly done to make her think you're cooler than everyone else there? Probably nothing, but the boys can't see through this act. In fact, Butters falls so hard for it.
Everyone in here is such a loser, but you guys seem really cool.
We are.
Then the waitress, Lexus, touches him on the shoulder, and he goes bananas.
You guys, I think our Raisins girl likes me.
And the boys don't stop trying to cheer Stan up.
Hey, look over there, Stan. That Raisins girl's really cute, huh? Why don't you say hi to her?
Of course, Kyle thinks he's helping because he's never been on the other side. This girl has probably already been hit on by 100 different men since the place opened this morning. You're just one entry in a long list of creeps. But she can't tell you to go swallow a brick because you would probably stiff her on the tip. So she smiles and acts interested. But Stan is too heartbroken to fall into that trap though. Once you've tasted real love, the fake stuff is intolerable. But Butters isn't quite as experienced, and he falls face first into the trap.
Oh, sweetie, are you leaving?
Well, I don't want to, Lexus, but my stupid friends want to go.
Lexus dingles the bait.
Aw, well, when am I gonna get to see you again?
Butters bites.
When do you want to see me?
She reels him in like a pro.
As soon as possible.
The catch is fat and juicy.
Oh my God! Here, we left you a tip already, but here's another $5.
Lexus is a true professional, and Butters is as good as dead.
Oh, you are such a sweetie. Come here, you.
But this is such a sweet scene. Butters is in love, and Lexus has secured a repeat customer. The boys ask Stan if he feels better, but, I mean, how could he?
Well, Stan, do you feel bitter now?
No, dude, I feel worse.
Kyle explains that they were just trying to show him that there are other girls out there.
Dude, I don't have time to start over with other girls. I'm 9 years old, dude. If I don't work things out with Wendy, I could be alone my whole life.
Now, obviously, this is a huge exaggeration, but there is some truth in there. For most guys, getting the girl is often down to a lot of luck. Lose her, and the odds of getting anybody just as good drop significantly. You also know the amount of work it took to get her, and the amount of work it took to build your rapport and your intimacy. Starting over with a new girl will require just as much work, and there is still no guarantee that things will work out. The Stan and Butters storylines diverge here. Butters loves Lexus so much, but she loves his money even more. He calls out to her.
Tomorrow, bye, Mercedes.
Lexus!
Uh-oh. Hi, sweetie.
Butters doesn't notice.
I waited all night for you to get off work.
Butters thinks this is very romantic and tells Lexus how he couldn't stop thinking about her. Lexus romantically summons a very big guy.
Could you, just help walk me to my bike?
Right.
She has some parting words for Butters.
Thanks again for the big tip. You are such a sweetie. Come back and see me real soon, okay?
Lexus walked to her bike with a big guy shielding her. This should be a pretty obvious hint to anybody else, but Butters wouldn't notice a hint if it slapped him in the face.
Oh, wait, Lexus. Jeez, I almost forgot. I got you this present.
Oh, wow. Thanks, cutie.
Lexus takes the present and keeps walking, maintaining the shield. Butters ignores a lot of the obvious red flags. When he calls to Lexus on the phone, she doesn't recognize his voice.
Hey, Lexus.
Hi, sweetie. Who's this?
Bro, that heartbreak is gonna be powered by a turbocharged V8. When he invites Lexus to hang out, she turns him down and counters with raisins instead. This is when we get a look into how big of a simp Butters is.
Well, I kind of don't have any money left. I spent it all on raisins the last 6 times.
Oh, that's too bad, cutie. I really want to see you.
But he promises to get more money.
Dad, I need an advance on my allowance again.
Oh no, Butters, you got an advance 2 days ago.
Butters explains that he spent it all on his girlfriend, and his parents are overjoyed.
You see, I told you he wouldn't turn out gay.
Butters takes mom and dad to meet his girlfriend, and they spot the problem immediately.
Oh boy, I think I know what's happened. Our son hasn't learned yet that girls will pretend to like him for money.
That was a harsh lesson for me. The raunchy comedies of the 2000s and the pizza delivery movies I watched on the hub gave me a very fake picture of the world. And then I grew up and realized you can't pay for love. It's a sad day when you learn that the stripper doesn't like you. It's even sadder when you learn that she hates you so much that if there was a purge, she would probably shoot you first. And it doesn't matter how much you pay, she'll always hate you. Butters is about to learn that lesson in the most painful way possible. From her, in front of mommy and daddy.
Our love is as pure as a mountain spring. Come on, Lexus. I'm moving out of my parents' house and I'm moving in with you. Let's blow this joint.
What are you talking about, kid?
Poor Butters. Butters is broken, but he is about to save Stan. What's he doing anyway? Let's go check up on him. Stan is still heartbroken. He just can't get out of bed.
I can't believe it. She's in love with somebody else.
Kyle gets angry at Stan's gloominess and suggests that maybe he should hang out with the goth kids. The line is delivered sarcastically, but Stan treats it like a serious suggestion.
Maybe I should go hang with the goth kids.
These kids are a little extra.
We're all taught to believe in happy fairy tale endings, but there's only blackness, dark, depressing loneliness that eats at your soul.
And there's also a dash of fatalism.
Love didn't work for my mom and dad. Why should it work for me?
Stan asks the one question that would go through your mind in such a situation.
But if life is only pain, then what's the point of living?
The goth answer just as any little spoiled brat would.
Just to make life more miserable for the conformists.
This somehow convinces him to join. South Park piles on the sarcasm.
If you want to be one of the nonconformists, all you have to do is dress just like us and listen to the same music we do.
Now, this is an obvious dig at people who change their entire personality after a breakup. Stan fully adopts the goth aesthetic and even changes his name to Raven. Does it work out for him? Absolutely not. Only naive little Butters can save him. But Stan's attempts to fit in with the goths are fun to watch. They all read their dark, melodramatic poetry to each other. Then it's Stan's turn. He reads a couple of dark lines and then he commits a great crime. The crime of hope.
The pain is everlasting. I miss you so much, babe. Want to hold you in my arms again, girl.
and the goths are quick to correct them.
Whoa, dude. Those last 2 lines aren't goth.
The goths tell him the right thing to say.
Make it, I miss seeing you so much I want to slice my eyes out with razor blades.
This scene parodies how we feel forced to behave a certain way in order to win the breakup. We go on a social media posting spree to show how much we don't care when we're crying ourselves to sleep at night. Stan tries hard to be an uncaring, gloomy goth, but he misses Wendy too much to pull it off. Salvation is coming though, and Stan is about to learn the proper way to deal with the breakup. As the goths are out on their nighttime walk in the rain, they run into a crying Butters.
Look at that. Another tortured soul. Another life of pain.
Butters explains how much it hurts, and the goths invite him to join them.
We're gonna go to the graveyard and write poems about death and how pointless life is.
Butters thanks him, but he says no. He loves life. And then he drops 1,000 pounds of wisdom on their melodramatic little heads.
Well, yeah, and I'm sad. But at the same time, I'm really happy that something can make me feel that sad.
He keeps going.
The only way I can feel this sad now is if I felt something really good before. So I have to take the bad with the good. So I guess what I'm feeling is like a beautiful sadness.
The most profound thing about this scene is how Butters is blissfully unaware of how profound it is.
I guess that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
But Stan disagrees with his goth friends. He sees the wisdom in it.
No, Butters, that doesn't sound stupid at all.
He realizes that he likes liking life a lot more than he likes hating it.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Stan goes back to his friends, and they're surprised to see him.
Aren't you still wallowing in pain?
He is, but he's come to accept it thanks to Butters.
I just realized that there's gonna be a lot of painful times in life, so I better learn to deal with it the right way.
But what is the right way? When Wendy and Token walk by, Stan calls Wendy the B word and flips off Token. Then he goes back to playing football and the episode ends. Is this the right way? Call her the B word, show him the bird, and then just play football? No, that part was a joke. Butters provides the perfect recipe on how to deal with a breakup. It gels with what the experts say. First, feel your feelings. Don't deflect or pretend you're good. If you want to cry, just cry. Just do it in the shower to avoid losing your man card. But you can't feel your feelings forever. Wallowing in misery is not the way to go. If you stalk her on Instagram with 4 fake accounts, you're not going to grow. You will be stuck in the past while she moves on with her life. It's always better to go full no contact, out of sight, out of mind. You might still think about her, but here's the most beautiful thing about our minds. Thoughts only last a few seconds, unless you focus on them. That's when they move in and refuse to pay rent. If she crosses your mind, ignore the thought and it will go away. Over time, you will think about her less and less until you eventually don't think about her at all. But that's not gonna happen if you're stalking her Instagram with 4 different fake accounts or sniffing the hairspray she left behind because it helps you sleep. Get rid of anything that triggers bad memories. Then keep yourself busy. Maybe pick up a new hobby, exercise, hang out more with your friends, get a pet, so on and so on. Once you have cured yourself of bitterness, you can even date somebody else. Now, there's no guarantee that the new person won't break your heart as well, but it's a risk you have to take. The only way to permanently avoid breakups is to never get into another relationship with any other human for as long as you live. If you do that, she'll look you up after 10 years and decide that she was right to dump you. Don't give her the satisfaction of that.